Good morning. Thanks for your company this Wednesday, the 7th of October. I'm Jessica Amir, a market analyst with Bell Direct. Well, overnight, the US federal chairman again called on fiscal help to be delivered, saying it was necessary for the economic recovery. And then we heard from US President Donald Trump announce in a tweet that the White House will halt negotiations of further stimulus until after the election. Now, this is exactly what we thought would happen. Trump delaying stimulus until after D-Day. The US market was initially marching forth until his announcement, but then US equities began to wipe out some of the day's prior gains. Not all. The Nasdaq lost 1.6%, erasing about half of the day's prior rally, while the S&P 500 fell 1.4%, and the Dow also slipped about that as well, rubbing out most of the previous session's rally. Now, what to watch today? Well, the Aussie market looks like it'll have a bit of a retreat, a drop of 0.3% if you go by the futures. On the commodities side of things, the oil price has nudged ahead, rising 1.8%. It's now at $39.91 US, while gold has eased from its two-week high, falling about 2% to $1,882 US an ounce, with investors instead buying into the safe haven USD. Today, the focus will, of course, be on the budget and how investors and businesses will be reacting to that and what companies could see a further kick. There's a lot to mull over. For individuals, low middle income earners will be entitled to a tax offset of up to $2,745. So the question is, will tech stocks get another boost as they did with the first round of COVID-19 handouts? For the wage subsidy side of things, employers will get $200 a week for hiring people under the age of 30 and $100 per week for hiring folks between 30 and 35, but they must be working at least 20 hours per week. For businesses with turnover of over $5 billion, they'll be able to buy and write off the entire cost of any depreciating asset that they buy before 30 June 2022. That's huge. For manufacturers in defence, space, food recycling and medical products, they'll get $1.3 billion in wave. That's the total injection. So think about local manufacturers that could get some of that slush of funds. For infrastructure, $3 billion will go to shovel-ready infrastructure projects, with 2/3 to go towards small-scale road safety projects and the remainder for the government's roads and infrastructure program. So companies to look at include ABCB, LD, CSL, FBU, JHX, and for Citi, Boral is a buy with a 530 target. However, success for Boral does remain dependent on getting project wins. Citi says Boral is the best place, though, given its footprint on the East Coast, as that's where the majority of work is focused. As for trading ideas that could be worth a look, UBS maintained BHP as a buy stock, $41 target, after the mining giant announced it's buying an extra 28% stake in an oil asset in the deep water Gulf of Mexico. For $505 million. Now, that'll take its holding in the asset to 72%. Now, BHP could unlock extra value in the Shenzi oil field, and it could have potential to increase production rates over the next 2 decades. So that's BHP, a UBS buy. And Whitehaven Coal, WHC, and Coronado Global Resources, CRN, both reiterated as Bell Potter buys, but both had their price targets reduced amid a damper coal price outlook. Now, CRN's new price target $160, WHC's new target $2.15. And lastly, keep an eye on Northern Star, NST, Saracen Minerals, SAR, and Resimac Group, RMC, all showing bullish charting signals according to Trading Central. I'm Jessica Amir with Bell Direct. Stay safe, happy trading.